Did you notice how the yogurt was stored in a box, like a juice box? That's how many of the products are stored in Mexico. This way, they don't have to keep it refrigerated. They actually do this ultra pasteurization, and so the milk and the yogurt can be bought like that. That's how I bought my milk when I lived in Mexico. I bought it in a box, and you didn't have to refrigerate it at first until you opened it. Yes, it took me a while to get used to that because it tasted a lot different, but eventually I got used to it and it was fine. Another strange thing for me was eggs. You actually apparently don't need to refrigerate eggs until they're refrigerated already. Once you refrigerate them, you have to keep them in the refrigerator. But if you take them from the chicken or whatever, then you don't have to refrigerate them right away. And so my roommates, when I lived in Mexico, kept their eggs on the shelf in their room. That didn't fly with me. And so in the fridge, I kept my milk and my eggs and whatever else I needed. And the last thing, a lot of times people in countries like Mexico will go to the store often. They'll go to the mercado, the market, and there they'll get all kinds of stuff. You'll see, fruits and vegetables and eggs and pretty much anything you could want. We're actually going to watch a video at some point about foods and about someone shopping in a market, and you'll see what I mean. But they go to a market and they go pretty much every day. We here in the U.S. often, say, okay, great, I only need to go one time this week or maybe even longer. And in Mexico, no, they go to the market every day because they want their food really fresh. In Mexico, they have something called a comida corrida. And that, like you saw, means fast food or running meal. It's a quick meal. It's not our traditional fast food. It's not like you'd go through the drive-through. It's where you go to a restaurant and they kind of have a few different choices for you to pick. They say, our meats for today are this kind of chicken or this kind of steak. Which one would you prefer? And so you can let them know which one you prefer. You can have a salad with whatever dressing you want or soup. They have rice and beans, usually tortillas with it. They'll have a dessert with it, and then they'll let you pick a drink. The drink they let you pick is often either iced tea or, you could have water, sometimes pop, but usually not. Usually it's an agua. An agua is a flavored water, and so on the next couple of slides, you're going to see some pictures about that. This is a pretty reasonable priced meal, and because it's already made. And so for all that stuff you see on that thing, it's about $4. That price is pretty current. I looked it up yesterday so that it would be accurate for this year. These are the different types of drinks or different types of aguas they have. And so this is a slide of the raw materials, and then this is the slide of the finished product. So the answer is no, you cannot drink the water. At a hotel, questionable. If they have purified water, you'll definitely want to ask them that, but yes. Also, ice, no. Again, at a certain hotels or certain restaurants, maybe, but be very selective because otherwise you'll get sick. And even native Mexicans who live there get sick. Traditionally, in Spanish speaking countries, at about 2 o'clock or so, everybody will go home and have lunch. Yes, 2 o'clock, so that's late. Imagine eating lunch another 2 hours later than you already do. Everybody goes home and they have lunch. It's a big family thing. Even dad comes home from work and whatnot. And then they have a big lunch. That's their biggest meal of the day. And then they take a nap. That's called la siesta. That's really nice. But imagine if you don't have lunch until 2 and then you take a nap for a couple of hours. Then you go back to school at maybe 4 or so, and you have school for a couple of hours before you go home again. And then you'll have maybe a dinner about 8 o'clock before you call it a day. That's it.